Again, welcomes the NFL to its famous home, Estadio Azteca, for one of the best matchups the league's ever had in its international series. New England with a fan base here, taking on the Oakland Raiders, and the Raider Nation is well represented south of the border. It's an awesome scene at Azteca. Over 77,000 strong on a beautiful afternoon. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, so good to have you with us. What an environment we have here, and it has been raucous for well over an hour just going through the warm-ups. As, again, we have a great matchup for you here today. New England and Oakland coming up, and this game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. Tony, here we go. We've been here for a good part of the week, and it has been such a build-up to it. So much excitement in the air.
You're not kidding. The excitement, I mean, the energy here is palpable. You can't move in this atmosphere without feeling it. This feels like a big, big game, this whole environment.
So the Patriots defer, and the Raiders will get the football to start at the 25. It's a crucial game for the Raiders at 4-5. They're coming off a bye week, and their quarterback, Derek Carr, has thrown for over 300 yards his last 3 starts. Again, first part of the season, the numbers weren't there. Of course, he had the back injury, but the last 3 games, good stats. They've won 2 of the 3.
Well, they need him to play well because their defense is struggling right now. Derek Carr has to carry this team and put him on his back, today especially against the #1 offense in the league.
They're going to come out at the start with 3 receivers. Seth Roberts, the additional one. Lynch is the running back. And it's Lynch with the carry. Stiff arm to get outside, and more contact, and he fights hard for a couple. Finally, David Harris throws him down, give him 3. And I know many of you watched the Chiefs and the Giants game, with the Giants winning that in overtime. And as a result, if Oakland was to win this game today, the Raiders would find themselves just 1 game behind Kansas City in the division. Johnny Holton comes in as the Raiders face 2nd and 6. Second snap of the game in Mexico City, and Lynch with the carry. And the Raiders are within a yard of the first. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. And it's a glorious scene here at Azteca Stadium, 77,000 strong, Tony. And much anticipation about this matchup and having the Patriots and the Raiders meet here in Mexico City.
Well, I tell you what, I'm anxious to see who's going to be the home team. It looks like it's going to be the Raiders today. A lot of fans down here, but the Patriots, they love the Patriots down here as well. And right now, you see on offense, Oakland looks like they're playing a home game. And I think when you see New England's offense come out, it'll be a road game for them.
So the first 2 plays of the game have been carries by Lynch. He's within a half a yard of the first. 3rd and a foot for the Raiders on this first drive of the game, and it's Lynch easily up the middle with the first down carry. Let's meet this Raiders offense at right tackle. Newhouse is out with a hip and quad injury. Alexander starts at right tackle. And Lynch, he was strong in the second half of their last game with 2 touchdowns in the second half of their win at Miami. And he's had the first 3 carries of the game, but they bring in Washington now as they got a new set of downs, Tony, at the 37.
A lot of fun stuff to watch today. They had their bye week last week, which means they studied themselves, Jim. This offense could look a little different today.
Carr throws. Got a completion, but very little there. That's Crabtree with Gilmore on the coverage. Let's meet this New England defense. This New England defense of Matt Patricia, which has stiffened here over the last 5 games. In this 5-game win streak, Wise, a rookie who's made a lot of plays this season. Again, it was abysmal at the start of the season for the Patriot defense, but the last 5 weeks, they've held every opponent to 17 or fewer points. So a 2-yard pass play to Crabtree, 2nd and 8 for Carr and company. And going to give it to Washington. And the Patriots are on him in a hurry. Just a 2-yard gain. Chung one of those to bring him down. So Tom Brady and the Patriots, they, at the start, they won the toss and deferred. And Brady and that Patriot offense, of course, the #1 ranked offense in the league.
Well, you're seeing a concerted effort out of Oakland right now. That off week that I talk about, the bye week, you study yourself and you say, what are we good at? What are we not good at? And what do we have to get better at? Oakland is coming out to run the football. They have got to run the football better to be the same offense they were last year. And then today it helps because it keeps Brady on the sideline.
You know, they've run it 4 of their first 5 plays. And now it's a 3rd and 5. Carr across the middle, and it's incomplete. Roberts tried to extend for it, but just a little out of reach. And the Raiders pick up 1 first down and will punt.
You're going to see man coverage, and Carr lays it right in there, and the ball just gets up on Roberts. It's a good throw, and Roberts has to come up with that. That happens all year. Right now, that's my biggest issue. The running game is not good enough in Oakland. The second biggest thing, it's drop passes. So many big plays that extend drives are just getting dropped, and really in their secondary as well. It's the story of the season for the Raiders.
Marquette King punting here at high altitude. Amendola is the returner. He signals fair catch and secures it just outside the 12. 44-yard punt, and Tom Brady takes the field for the first time in Mexico City. Estadio Azteca, 77,000 on hand for this one. Patriots and the Raiders. I'm going to leave it to my wordsmith to tell you exactly what it's been like here, this game and this scene inside.
Well, you can hear it right now. This place is electric. When we came in here before the game, I've never seen warm-ups be more animated by a fan base than here. If you threw the Seattle Stadium next door, Jim, if you threw it next door, you would not know which one was and which one was here in Mexico City Azteca. It's really quite unique and special here.
Yeah, the levels are very similar. First carry of the game for the Patriots goes to Dion Lewis, and a pickup of a couple. And now Brady will operate from the shotgun on this second snap for New England. Buckhead comes into the game, coming off a monster game in so many different ways against Denver last Sunday night. Burkhead. And there's a pass over to Cooks for a completion. It's about 2 yards short of the first. Well, Tom Brady, I mean, these are Star Wars numbers. 18-3 over the last 2 seasons, and this is just borderline crazy. 47-4 touchdown passes to picks. 3rd and 3. They operate quickly. They go across the middle, and Amendola has the first down at the 30. New England's going no huddle. Here's their offensive line. You got Karras, this big thing to watch. Andrews is inactive, out with an illness. First time Karras has ever played in a regular season game at center. And Gronkowski, of course, what will he do here? Got a big fan base to follow him. And that's Burkhead. Again, Burkhead caught a touchdown against Denver, blocked a punt. And he did so many different things last week. And he's got a 4-yard completion right there. This Raider defense, you said it earlier, Tony, this is the big question mark. Mack was the defensive player of the year in the league last year, but been a tough go for the Raider defense as Brady looks to throw again. And the same guy he goes back to, Burkhead, with another reception. McDonald, by the way, started at corner, as did Melifonwu, who was in on that last stop. A rookie second rounder who came off of IR last week for the Raiders. 1st and 10. And a handoff to White for a pickup of 3 or 4.
And you see the no huddle right here. There's 2 reasons that New England's doing that. One, the altitude. It makes a difference. Where Denver's at, this is even higher. These people are going to get tired fast on defense. New England knows that. They're running simple plays to get these guys all tired and gassed up.
Play action, pass. That's Bennett. And Bennett finally tossed down by Bowman. And it's be 3rd and 1 coming up.
And the second reason that they're doing it, when you watch the tape of Oakland, you see a lot of average coverage. Guys in the wrong spot, getting there late. They know if they play fast, they can't communicate. They'll be out of position.
And again, in a hurry, they pick up the 3rd and 1 with no trouble. White bursts ahead, and they've gone from their 13 all the way to the Raider 44 in just a blur. So again, there is Melifonwu, Obi Melifonwu out of UConn, who was out with a knee at the start of the season. Got to start here today. Emerson, one of their members of the secondary, is inactive and out with a foot injury. Lewis in the backfield. First down for New England. And it is Lewis. Quick contact. Tries to bounce off the second hit. And he's thrown for a little loss.
They're starting to use Dion Lewis more and more in this running game. You see in September, I think he had like 15 or 20 yards the whole month, and now you're seeing him really come on and almost be their lead back the last month and a half as far as rushing yards go. You know, they're obviously still using Burkhead, Glass. They have a whole bunch of people they use, White, but he's kind of morphed into their leading rusher now.
Yeah, he's had at least 11 carries each of the last 4 games, says Dion Lewis. He remains in the backfield on 2nd and 11. Straight drop back for Brady. Now slides and throws. And it's a catch by Dwayne Allen. It took Dwayne Allen until the 9th game of the season to make a catch. Went for a touchdown against the Broncos last week. Now he's his 2nd catch of the season.
Brady's going to try and throw outside there, and he has to come back in. He does a good job getting back to the tight end late.
So Allen's catch brings the football to the 40, but it's 3rd and 6.
You're in field goal range here. It's actually a normal field goal here at this altitude. This isn't crazy to think a 57-yarder is not normal.
7,200 feet above sea level. 3rd and 6. Brady looks left, goes middle. Amendola with the catch. And another New England first down right in front of Carl Joseph.
It's a great design. You're going to see Amendola pretend like I'm going up the field and go straight across, and it's almost a little pick route by Gronkowski. They almost both get in there, and Brady decides what side to throw. And in the man coverage, they are going to wear out Oakland, who has not played well in the secondary. Mack, though, getting the pressure on Brady. They're going to need him to play great today, Jim.
Burkhead returns as the tailback. Devlin, the fullback. 4 first downs already picked up by the Patriots. Moving Hollister around on the slot on the left side and still wants him in another place. And they go with Burkhead. Balls comes out. The ball is on the ground. And New England has recovered.
That's a big play.
Dwayne Allen.
And I'll tell you right now, that was Burkhead in the running back. And as we talked to him this week, you know what Burkhead told us, Jim? You see him go through the line? I said, you're getting time. Is it like Coach ever tell you guys whoever fumbles doesn't play next week? And he goes, ball security
equals
job security. And you know what? Right there, he put himself on notice. We'll see if he gets back in the game soon.
He's out for this play as Lewis flanks Brady out of the gun. 2nd down and 2. To Lewis. And he's dropped for a loss of about 4. Morrow on the tackle. Navarro Bowman was shaken up earlier on this series for the Raider defense, and he's gone inside the tent.
Well, I tell you what, you saw the first game. Melifanu, number 20, started at corner tonight for the Raiders. They like him, right? They're trying to give him a lot of time. He played the first series, he's already out. Whether he's a little tired, first game back, or whether he got picked on, which he did on that first drive, he's not out there right now.
Raiders have converted on all 3 of their previous 3rd down attempts. 3rd and 6, stepping up and gunning to the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to connect with Dorsett. But a flag is out. McDonald was there to cover.
Yeah, I got there a little early, it looked like. And this is still the first drive, but they've already replaced some starters out there.
Holding. Defense. Number 50. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Called on Morrow, the rookie.
You're going to see him. And usually guys get up on Gronk, and you got to let go right there. Right there, you got to let go when he breaks out. You can't hold him as he goes. Now, you got to get physical with Gronk, though. Otherwise, you have no chance. The teams who defend him well, stay with them and get up there and lean their body on him. You just can't hold him at the top. But you do have to use your body leverage and lean into him.
So another new set of downs. In the red zone from the 19, Lewis with that quick burst. And he's met by Joseph, and Nelson came over to assist, gain of 4.
Joseph is a great, we call him old strong safeties almost. You're an in-the-box player. He's not really great at the single high free safety, but you put him down around the box, tell him to blitz, go tackle. He's great at that. And the one thing about Oakland, they are a much better tackling team this year than last year. Last year, weren't very good. This year, they've been really pretty good at tackling, except for their last game really against Miami. But Coaches have liked it so far this year.
One thing that's just amazing to think they have not had an interception, this Raiders defense, the entire season.
That's incredible.
2nd and 6. As Brady looks to throw. Pump fake goes the other way. And it's caught by Lewis. It makes a wiggle and then dives for the end zone touchdown. He spun around a defender. It was Corey James. He escaped.
Tom Brady's going to look to his left and watch right here. Watch his eyes. They're going to go right here after the snap. And late off his back foot, you're going to see Dion Lewis get back. And off his back foot, the other side of the field, he throws the ball to Dion Lewis. And Corey James in coverage almost falls down because he's looking at the quarterback. And it allows Dion Lewis to get a touchdown.
Brady 9 for 9 on that drive. The Raiders have allowed 71% completion percentage against them, 3rd worst all time in any single season in the league history. Extra point. Gostkowski is good.
Dion Lewis back in the offense in the run and pass game, and they're looking good.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Verizon, the best network and the best unlimited. And by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
A look inside the Museum of Modern Art here in Mexico City. Great to have you with us. Tom Brady, 9 for 9 on that drive, had 6 different receivers, and now he's thrown touchdown passes in 3 different countries.
Well, look at that. I just feel like that's like, hey, he's incredible. He's got all these stats, but that's also like, hey, he's also old and he's played forever. And he's amazing now.
He's the 6th different quarterback to throw touchdowns in 3 different countries. Joining the likes of Derek Carr, by the way. Jay Cutler, Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, Tracy, let's go down to you and welcome.
Jim, you mentioned the altitude, 7,200 feet above sea level, so that's certainly a concern for both teams, and both teams prepared differently for it this week. As for the Patriots, they decided to stay in Colorado, going to Colorado Springs in order to get adjusted. The Raiders, they did just what they did last year. They stayed in Oakland and came in late last night. Jack Del Rio saying it worked for them then. They hope it works for them here. We'll see if that plays a part in this game, James.
All right, thanks, Trace. They defeated Houston Texans here last year. The Raiders did. And now their 2nd drive against our from the 25. Quick pass over to Patterson, and he's got a gain of about 6. So this bye week for the Raider offense and for their coordinator, Todd Downing, it gave them a chance, you mentioned it, to kind of review themselves. They came out of this, Todd would tell you this, Derek would tell you, they wanted to change their tempo.
Yeah, they did. And really what you find is they want more plays. Right now they're 2nd in most plays run in the NFL in the entire league. 2nd least amount. The Patriots run the most plays.
2nd and 4, and Lynch with a good run and a 1st down.
Now what happens is there's 2 reasons for that in my opinion. One, if you run the football, you get more plays because you're, eating up 4 or 5 yards of play. They have not ran the football good enough this year. They're pretty good on 3rd down, which allows them to keep extending the drive. But they just aren't the same offense as last year. They don't get any turnovers. They don't run the ball as well. And right now that's why your record is sitting at 4 and 5 and not, something better at 6 and 3.
They've got a 1st down at the 36 and 5 receivers on the field for this play, but a flag comes out. This is John Hussey and his crew.
Full start. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Just updating the AFC West standings. How about Kansas City losing today to the Giants? The Giants' 2nd win of the season. Now Kansas City's lost 4 out of 5.
This division is wide open. Everyone's in it now. Today's game, which, if Kansas City would have gotten up to 7 and 3, would have been, a very, very big game. And it still is. Every game is here. But, now you have wiggle room. You just play and you keep battling until the end of the year.
1st and 15. From the shotgun. Carr got hit when he threw it. He was trying to connect with Crabtree. That was Flowers who made contact as the ball was being released.
Well, you're going to see he's going to come up and under, and Flowers right there. And this is the one thing that Derek Carr needs to really perform at a high level. And another possible drop, I think that was tough.
Of course, we saw the injury happen when he, at Denver, suffered the transverse process fracture. That was week 4. He seems to be fine now. You, of course, had that same injury. How long did it take to recover from that?
And it takes about 2-3 weeks. I mean, really, after 3 weeks, you're fine. That first week's very painful. He played against the Chargers. Didn't look like himself, but that's, you got to give him credit for playing, really.
And that's a completion to Richard. And it's going to be 3rd and long coming up. He missed one game. Carr did, came against Baltimore. The Ravens winning in Oakland. They get the hit by Van Noy.
Van Noy's kind of that Ninkovich position. If you can remember Rob Ninkovich from last year, I think that was a big reason why this defense struggled early in the year. And they're still trying to figure out ways, but that guy does so many things for you. He rushes, he chips the guy, he tackles, he feels, and then he's a late rusher, quarterback spy, plays all the positions.
Very good comparison. 3rd and 11. Carr heaves it down the field for Holton, and it's incomplete and intercepted off the deflection. That's Harmon who comes away with it. Ball bounced up into the air, was tipped by Jones, and then Harmon was in the area and he snagged it for the pick.
They gotta catch the ball, another drop. That's their season.
Harmon with the interception, his 2nd of the season, and now the Patriots from the 16. Open underneath, Lewis sidesteps a tackle by Joseph and has another first down gain of 12. Here's the pick.
You're going to see right here, look at Holton going up. Now watch his shoulder pad right here. The ball's going to hit his shoulder pad right there. Just got to turn your body just a little bit more. And that, I mean, that's the difference between a play where you're scoring points, his head right there at the end.
Yeah, he's gone into concussion protocol. Holton has, as you mentioned, his head bouncing off the turf rather violently. From the 28. Brady gets away from the pressure the first time, but not the second. And Mack gets to him. At first it was Hester. He was able to slide past him, but Mack was the next one to get to him.
And the pressure actually is Shaq Mason. Hester gets up on Shaq Mason and creates the movement, and then you see the double team on Mack, who just keeps fighting and working and gets a sack. And he's been a little down. That's 5.5 sacks. He hasn't been quite as disruptive this year as last year. You know, last year he forced 5 fumbles. He has 0 so far this year.
Bowman, you see him in the frame. He's back in after missing some snaps at the end of that last drive. 2nd and 18. Play action fake. Brady goes sideline. Cooks. He's right in front of Sean Smith and has the catch. And now Brady's 11 for 11.
Well, and you see another play in a row where you're going to get a chip. Watch right here. Here's Mack. It's never going to block him one-on-one. Chip, and then you got your tackle on him. The Patriots will not let your best player beat them. Ever. They will. That is for them. That is just something they will never allow.
Holton's going to the locker room. The first quarter has closed with the Patriots up 7-0. You're watching the NFL on CBS from Mexico City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There you saw last June, Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola traveled here to help promote the game. 3rd and 5, and it looked like maybe they got the Raiders to jump.
I think they got a first down on that. That's a killer if you're Oakland. Brady's got to be excited about that. That's exactly what he came out of the timeout
Trying to do.
When you go into timeout, you can tell your guys, listen, anybody jumps off sides, you know, you can just yell at them like right there in the huddle like 5 times. What is it on? What is it on? What is it on? No one will ever jump then because you're like, Joe, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it too?
Encroachment. Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty.
He got it. It's on Edwards. And
Correction.
this is,
The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
and you see, these are the last 10 attempts. He's 11 for 11. He's 1 completion away. If he gets the next one to hit, it'll be matching his best regular season start ever when he completed his first 12 throws against the Colts in a game back in 2003.
Well, this isn't abnormal. You know, he's played against Jack Del Rio back when Del Rio was a head coach for the Jaguars. And I'm telling you, Tom Brady's last 2 games against the Jack Del Rio coach team
feasted on him. Here's Lewis. And his numbers were staggering, actually.
It's 90% completion percentage the last 2 times he's played against Jack Del Rio as the head coach. I mean, he knows this system, and he loves going against it.
Well, what you're actually, you're saying here, not only 90%, but in those last 2 games, he had 7 touchdown passes. Of course, we're going back to win again.
Del Rio, but systems, it's like we talk about. Why do the Steelers have trouble against them?
7 touchdowns and only 5 incompletions. And now he's 12 for 12. He's got Bennett on the short throw, the pickup of about 5.
In a nutshell, there are certain systems that your offensive system fits perfectly going against. It's like, hey, we like to throw to running backs and Amendola. Well, that's because they, coverage-wise, those matchups are always in their favor. They don't get doubled on the certain route trees that they run.
So now they've matched, and he's matched his best ever start of 12 for 12 in a regular season, but his best regular or post was against Del Rio in Jacksonville. In an 07 divisional round game, he went 16 for 16 at the start.
Well, there it is right there. Nice job. Look at you, fast, quick, coming up with it.
Up-tempo.
Up-tempo.
3rd and 5. And he's going for the deep one. Smith on the coverage. Cooks.
Now, this is a great description of Tom Brady this year to years in the past. Now you're going to watch the receiver ISO. It's a go route by Cooks, and you see he gets by Smith, and the ball's just overthrown. Talking to Tom, you know what he's worked all offseason on? Not overthrowing go routes. Because what happens is, as a quarterback, you don't want to overthrow, or you want to play it safe, and you don't want to actually, you're coming out to punt down for it. You want to play it safe. You don't want to ever throw an interception. But the problem is you never throw interceptions on go routes. So you have to let your guy touch it. It's the #1 rule. And Tom really tries to do that a lot. He's done it well this year.
Ryan Allen to Bouchard. And he's got the fair catch at the 13. So they're able to take the Patriot offense off the field. 7-0 New England, though. Yes, it's the 2nd straight year the Raiders give up a home game in Oakland and play down here as the host team in Mexico City. And the Al Davis flame. Al Davis, the last game he saw before he passed back in 2011 was between the Raiders and the Patriots. He passed away 6 days after that matchup the following Saturday as Lynch is able to go out to about the 20-yard line.
That's big right there. If Oakland's going to come out and win this football game or really be better going forward, they need more consistent production. That's the one thing they noticed was the consistent production on 1st and 2nd down. They weren't doing a good enough job there. They're great in 3rd down, but they were not very good on 1st and 2nd. That's 7 yards. That's a different offense than they've been all year.
2nd and 3. Standing in the pocket. Down the field. Has the completion at the 46. That's Jared Cook, who comes off his biggest game in their last outing against the Dolphins. He was over 100 yards receiving.
It's just going to be a straight go route, and he's going to see that Carr's not throwing and stop and be like, hey, I'm over here. And this is just Carr throwing it perfectly back shoulder late in the route. And Jared Cook, that's what they need. Go make the catch. Go make it, because right there, those are drops half the time. He played great at Miami last week or 2 weeks ago before the bye. They really have gotten him in favorable matchups in the last few weeks, and that's helped their offense.
And they felt it was really helpful, too. They got him started early in that game at Miami with 2 or 3 catches on their opening drive. Went on to have 8 for the game and 126 on the yardage total. 1st and 10. Crabtree pulls it down and balances himself to fight for an extra couple yards and get near the 1st.
And you're going to see one-on-one, tough contested catch. Gilmore getting up in there, pretty good technique. He's got to come up with the tackle afterward. But Crabtree fighting hard, and I don't know how many times we can say it. The tough catches are going to be the difference for this offense going forward in the pass game.
Patrick Chung a little woozy after that play, Tony.
Patrick Chung, one of the leaders of this defensive unit, plays all over. Him and McCourty, they move up, they move back, they play the middle of the field.
He's going to head to the sideline. Jordan Richards has come in to take his place. He's 2nd and about a foot for Oakland.
We're actually looking at the last place defense, the total defense. We keep talking about Oakland's. Well, New England's isn't that much better. They're good in scoring. And I would argue that I think when you study them, you figure out why they are. And I'm going to tease you until after this play and make you wait till I think that they've improved as the season went on.
Second and a foot. That is a big part of the reason of this win streak. Got the first down with Washington. Tonight, 60 Minutes has covered a lot of crises, but few more serious than the one they'll report on tonight. Plus a story that even Hollywood couldn't dream up. 60 Minutes tonight. Tell me about the Patriot defense.
So what happened early in the year, you got new guys. The Ninkovich isn't there, the guy who does everything in different ways. Well, as the season goes on, you're detailing throughout the first month what you're good at, what you're not good at, and you're trying to figure it out. You make a concerted effort to say, hey, we can't stop teams left and right 3 and outs. We're going to stop them situationally in the red zone on third down. So you practice that way more.
There's Lynch. Got just one on that one. Gilmore and others around him.
You allow your team to get great at certain spots that come up all the time in the game. We call them scoring, right? We know the red zone is scoring, but so is third down. If you drop a pass on third down, well, you don't have any chance to score on that drive. Well, these are all normal things. They get great situationally as the season has gone on. And so you look at them last in defense and yardage, but they're actually getting way better at the situational defense. And all those trickle down, and all of a sudden you become a good defense by the end of it.
And again, Matt Patricia's defense has given up 17 points or fewer in 5 consecutive games. Second and 9. Trying to jump that route was Malcolm Butler. Trying to get in front of Amari Cooper. It's the first time we mentioned Cooper's name, who's had such a strange season. One incredible game against Kansas City on a Thursday night, and very little else to speak of for Amari.
Yeah, he had that big game, and they need him. He's their #1 guy, and it's his first target in the game, and just they need him to play big for them, and especially against these man-to-man teams. He's got to make the difference. You see him up top in the slot right there. See if the safety goes over there to help him or not. He's one-on-one if he doesn't.
3rd and 9. Carr has to roll out. Butler is chasing him. He goes to Cooper. They got a flag down. He ran a route that was about a yard short of the first. Had to come back for it. And now New England is certain this is on the Raiders.
It's probably a push-off on Cooper, possibly. I mean, they could go either way. But, when guys come back to the balls, the quarterback scrambles, that's usually when you push off trying to come back and create space.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 89. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So you're going to see him in the slot. He slips. Derek Carr's going to look at him. He's going to go outside leverage. Go in and go back out. And slip and fall. And then from there, he's just holding a little bit on Butler, but then just kind of, little guys, both of them kind of pushing a little bit. It's a dicey call.
3rd and 19 moves the football back to the Raiders side of the field.
Now you're going to see New England very seldom rushes more. They're going to play these guys deep, the safeties. One guy will drop down a little bit, real softly, right there, maybe move back a little bit, and they'll usually rush, 3 or 4 guys.
Across the middle. Cooper stopped at the 45 by Butler, who's been shadowing him in this game. Picks up only 6. And they'll call on Marquette King.
And once again, good situationally, getting off the field, on 3rd down. And, a lot of that, when you look at it too, though, Jim, why they're playing better defense, they're stopping the run game. And they're stopping the run because some of the young guys and the new guys in the system, they're taking really advantage of their days in the pads. On Wednesday when they come out in pads, you only get so many days, and these guys are having better eye control, hand placement, leverage. There's a learning curve to the run game to really slow it down. They're figuring it out.
Here's King end over end trying to pin him, and he flies it into the end zone for the touchback. Just a net of 26.
Por el centro, nada, para el lado izquierdo baja el balón, tira para el lado derecho, el pase va a ser completo, se quita la primera marca, toda velocidad, y touchdown, touchdown, touchdown para los New England Patriots.
Armando Quintero on the first drive of the game for the Patriots, and they're going for the deep one again, and they've got Cooks this time. He had a step on 2 defenders.
You're going to watch, he's double teamed, but the problem is he runs right through it. And Cooks is too fast. And Reggie Nelson can't catch up, and DJ Carey's got outside leverage, and he maintains it, but he runs right by the safety. Great design, and now they're getting up on the ball quickly.
Second longest pass play of the season for New England. Goes for 52. And out of reach for Burkhead. And you had been talking about Brady trying to, off-season, perfect the long ball. He certainly got a guy that he could team up with in Cooks.
Yes, he does. And the thing is this, when you get older, you find little things to constantly get better that you felt like you could have been better to really improve. That was it. He was just being a little too safe with the long ball. Now he wants his receivers to touch it every time.
Here's the throw to Gronkowski. 3 Raiders around him, but another first down for New England.
Gronkowski's going to run up and out, and Brady's going to fit this ball and look off in the middle and then come right to the sideline. And that's a great throw down and away.
Brady got hit, got knocked down by Mack.
Mack right there. And by the way, Mack's going against backup 68 there, Waddle, and that's going to be a tough matchup. You'll see him on that matchup throughout the game.
Oh, and that time, Burkhead just kind of turned around, unable to hold on.
That could have been a good play, too. They had a possible touchdown there with a perfect design on that play. You see the ball just a little behind him. Sometimes you throw that a little bit behind because the defensive end, you're not sure if he gets cut. That guy can get right in that swing pass kind of way on those screens instead of protecting the throw a little too much.
Second and 10 from the 16. Tripped up after the catch. Well played by Bruce Irvin, as he did not allow Cooks to kick it in the gear.
That's a fantastic play because he's really getting blocked by 2 guys, but Irvin was a big play here in the red zone.
Bennett comes into the huddle for New England.
So this is where Oakland's been a little stingy. They're 7th in red zone defense. And go ahead, Jim. You see them in the second quarter, they score a lot.
They've scored more points in the second quarter than any team has in any quarter this year. But they got a 3rd and 11. Fires it at the 5. Gronk to the 3.
Well, this is just Gronk running up and giving a little nudge on this grass. I bet you it's going to be a little slip at the end. He's going to run up and you'll see him come right into your screen right there, and he just stops.
Hand it off to White. And he's tackled by Luani for a loss of a couple.
It's a good tackle by Luani. This would be a big stop if they can hold him to 3 points here. The thing about the second quarter from New England, you talked about earlier how they scored more than any other team in the league in any quarter, is in this quarter. A lot of that is the end of the half. They are unbelievable in the final 2 minutes of the half, and we'll see. You don't want to give them the ball back no matter what happens on this drive.
Yeah, they've scored the last 6 games in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Second and goal. There it is to Amendola, and he fights just to get back to the line. Carey on top of that tackle like Irvin was a few plays before, but now the Patriots will face 3rd and goal.
They're going to need Khalil Mack here to step up and put pressure. Brady is phenomenal at sensing a 3-man rush and waiting you out. If they only rush 3 or 4, watch him to wait and move. If all 5 guys rush, he'll get the ball out quick. If there's 3, he'll wait on him. Oh, there's pressure. They're coming after him. He's going to get it out quick. What are you going to go to, Tom? Signal something. There you go. Timeout.
Yeah, he signals timeout.
He doesn't like it. He didn't have a good play versus pressure on, and he wasn't going to waste it. Too big of a play. It's a good job by him.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
And it is a huge play coming up here for this Raider defense. This seen Brady go 17 of 20 in this first half. And don't forget, the Verizon halftime report will be coming up in just a short while. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower, all the scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Brady has 17 completions, as I said. The Raiders have run a total of 18 plays. He was saying they're not getting enough snaps. The Raiders wanted to work on their tempo. Take a look at the tempo that New England operates with.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Well, look at 18 plays by Oakland, like you said.
Yep.
I mean, if they have another good drive, maybe they get 10 plays. That's 28. They're on pace for the exact same as the rest of the year. I mean, they got to get off the field here. Now, let's see if Oakland decides to come after him again or drop people. If there's 3-man rush, Brady will wait them out.
Gronkowski goes wide to the left. Here's the 3rd and goal play. Brady steps up, back in the end zone to Amendola for the touchdown.
So like we talked about, what happens is this. Tom Brady knows with the rush. He's going to wait to find the soft spot in the pocket. Here. He's going to look a little bit left, but he's feeling the rush. And when he feels that, it allows everybody to get open. The secret to him in the red zone is that when you play zone defense, what they're playing there, and you see Amendola back of the end zone comes in and it's touchdown. The difference, though, is Tom Brady's ability to extend the play, buy time, and give you the chance to get back there. No one does it better in the NFL than him subtly moving in the pocket and giving the extra 2 seconds for everyone to run the route 10 more steps.
Amendola's 4th catch. He was easily able to separate from the Raiders secondary, including Luani. And Gostkowski adds the extra point. It was all set up, by the way, with this deep ball to Cooks. It went for 52. It ended with Brady's 2nd touchdown toss of the first half.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Here to help life go right. Novartis. And by Walmart. Save money, live better.
Azteca, one of only 2 stadiums to host 2 World Cup finals, 1970 and 1986, site of Pele's final World Cup game back in 70, and Diego Maradona and the hand of God goal, perhaps some would say the most famous goal in World Cup history, took place here.
Watch how good Tom Brady is. This is the difference between him and a lot of quarterbacks, if not. Watch how much communication. Hey, I'm telling you guys, hey, Amendola's like, what am I doing? He's pointing out the protection. Who's blocking here? Amendola, what am I doing? Yeah, no, let's do this here. Wait, they might pressure. Let's go ahead and run the in and out. And then he knows in the back of his head, I'm just going to buy time. Here we go, subtly slide, and I got the in and out that I signaled. There you go, touchdown. Thanks for playing.
And Brady making his first ever appearance in Mexico City. He had, of course, a Super Bowl jersey that made its way to Mexico City a few months ago, ahead of him here. And Amendola, who caught the touchdown, was here to promote the game in June. And he comes back, scores a touchdown. Here's the first down play. Bootleg, Carr, sideline, dropped by Crabtree. And as you say, one of the big stories of the year for the Raiders. That and unable to really stop anybody in the passing game. Offensively, can't come up with a catch.
That's them in a nutshell right now, and that's too bad because if you look, they had the home run ball early in the game, which creates points, right? Holton hits his shoulder pad. It's a great throw by Carr. You look at the stats right now, he's not playing very good. Well, he's had 2 or 3 passes now. He's 6 for 11 for 52 and a pick. He should be 9 for 11 for about 100 yards and possibly a touchdown or at least 0-0. I mean, that's the game. It's that simple.
2nd and 10, handoff, Lynch. Gallops outside, now weaves. He's going to have one of his longest runs of the season. His longest previous run had been 22 yards. This one goes for 25, so it is his longest as a Raider.
He needed this, and they need this. They have got to continue to run the football to keep the offense. And look at it right here. Gets up, breaks in, breaks back out, finishes the play, and like you talked about, one of the biggest runs. It's a great job by Gabe Jackson and Alexander on the right side of the line creating that hole.
So Lynch has given him something in the running game, not just that one. There's been others.
It's just the drops, Jim. Yeah, that's why they're not scoring.
Richard comes in for Lynch as Oakland has the football right at the 50. Dump it over. Richard tries to go between the 2 defenders, stretches it out for 6. By the way, the Lynch run was his longest rush in a game since 2014. Of course, he was out of action last year.
He was out for a year.
He was out for a year, but he did play in 15. He played about a half a season.
Yeah. And he's played this half a year.
He played except for one game when he was suspended the one game.
This is his best start to a game that we've seen. We had him early in the year. He played really well.
At Tennessee.
At Tennessee, yep. Mm-hmm. And then today so far he's off to a great start. Just keep feeding him.
2nd and 5, and squirting through the hole. Tiny little opening for Richard. That was a nice piece of running by the second-year back out of Southern Mississippi.
If Oakland's going to do anything this year, it's going to come from this offense. They're going to need to carry this football team. They can't have the lulls that they've had at different times this year. They've got too many good players on this side to not be in the mix.
16 there, Tony, is back in the huddle. We saw him go into the concussion protocol. We saw him going to break, walking back inside to the locker room. He's been cleared, and now this is his first snap back. He is a deep threat. 2 catches this year. Both went for touchdowns. First down from the 38. Richard.
Pretty sure his own guy tackled him pretty good here.
Yeah, that's Alexander.
If somebody could bring a replay back of this one, this is
right tackle.
One of the bigger hits you're going to see right here. And you get Richard in there, and then Alexander says, "Sit down. You made me mad in the weight room the other day."
Second and 5. Richard. Again, there wasn't a whole lot there. It looked like it was going to be stuffed for no gain. They're going to mark him about a yard short. By the way, Chung, who was shaken up earlier, is back on the field. You see him, 23.
This is a great drive for Oakland right now. This is exactly how they were last year. They'd run it, big plays, run it, big plays. They like to just hand this off. Yep.
Got another first down. Richard.
We're seeing last year's version of the Oakland Raiders now, and if they can do this, they'll stay in the game, you never get out of the game, and you can go win it at the end.
Best drive of the game so far for the Raiders. We reached the 2-minute warning, 14-0 New England.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. Choose FedEx Ground for your affordable and fast shipping. And by Applebee's Top Steak and Twisted Potatoes.
Yeah, the beautiful Angel of Independence, built in 1910 here in Mexico City. We come out of the 2-minute warning with the Raiders driving down, though, 14-0.
Oakland needs to take their time, Jim. Don't give this ball back.
Parr goes on the run to the end zone. And Crabtree's looking around and saying, wait, wasn't there contact by Gilmore?
We're going to have to see. That's a good call, but if not, that's really a great defense. As long as he doesn't grab him. Look, it's a little hump route, and right there at the end, Gilmore, who's really started to play a little better the last couple weeks.
He has.
Really struggled early in the year. That's okay. I feel like he's fine there. The ball was just inside. That ball needed to be outside from Derek to have a chance.
And again, back to your point, if you give the Patriots the football back, they have scored in the last 2 minutes of the first half in 6 consecutive games and have outscored teams 27-0 in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Maybe the Raiders can change all that.
That's what you need to do. You should do that on first and second now. Take your time and come up and do it again. You have 3 timeouts. You are not worried about time at all, Oakland, right here. Take your time. Don't rush. Hand this ball off again. You can go for it on 4th down.
Lynch picking up 9 more.
Just a handoff to the left or right here. Probably right or right.
Cuts outside, picks up the first.
That was a risky handoff because they had too many guys on that side, but Marshawn Lynch makes it work.
So that's big, picking up the first down, and again, with the efforts to try to keep New England off the field for the rest of this half and try to produce, of course, something on their own end for the first time.
Now you see how slow they're taking this next one. They're letting this clock go down. They're playing this perfectly right now. This is absolutely ideal. As soon as it gets under 35 seconds, then you start taking 40 seconds, you start using your timeouts.
50 seconds to go. Patterson into the backfield. They've run it with him a number of times this year. But they're going to go up top. From the pocket to the 3. It's caught by Roberts. The ball is punched out and recovered by New England. Chung with the recovery. You could almost see that one coming. Flowers punched it out. Any chance they're going to say he was down?
Well, you're going to see, watch him fling this ball. Roberts got to protect that. It's like he's moving it out of the way to try and get a first down or something.
He wasn't down.
No, he's not down. Look at that punch. Look at the punch right there. Actually,
you could see it coming, though. Like you say, the way he was so carelessly handling the football, being spun around, he's got the football extended out.
Right there, look at that.
Can't protect it.
Come out there. These receivers have got to help this football team a little bit more.
All right, Patriots come out with 2 tight ends, 33 seconds. Raiders do have 3 timeouts. What are you looking for here, Tony?
I expect New England to run the football at least 2 times, if not 3. Try and run the clock out, hopefully get a first down and go into the half. Oakland needs to get a stop, use all 3 timeouts, get the ball back with about 6 seconds to go. Possible Hail Mary, possible 75-yard kick in this atmosphere.
Well, Lewis,
that ended
changes everything as he burst ahead out to the 28-yard line. And we'll be back. The timeout call. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Lowe's. And again, the Verizon halftime report coming up shortly. All the scores and highlights from the studio in New York.
Well, here we go. Now New England's going to get aggressive. They're the best in the NFL in this situation. This is tough, though. 26 seconds. Trying to get a field goal.
Brady, all kinds of time. Looks for Cooks. Incomplete at the 50.
And he just missed him. Tom knows that was points. Oh, and he said, gosh darn it.
Oh, exactly what he said.
Watch this. The ball was actually supposed to be in front of him. It's an in route. Cooks does a good job trying to adjust behind him. So you got 21 seconds. You got 1 timeout. You probably got to get 70 yards is really the number. You get 8 to 10 yards in this altitude. There's a percentage in this.
We're talking an all-time record field goal.
Yeah, I think they're going to attempt it if they get there.
2nd and 10. Again, Brady looking for options. Goes to Amendola, and he's shoved out at the 45.
They're in great shape now. Tom Brady staying alive. This pass rush, they did not let Khalil Mack get pressure with a couple of chips. They're blocking him. They're not going to let him beat him today. He has the sack, but he still was chipped on that play earlier. 11 seconds, you're at the 45. You kick a 70-yard field goal, puts you where, Jim?
Well, it would be 6 yards longer than Matt Prater's longest ever of 64 that took place at Denver in altitude. But this is 4/10 of a mile higher.
This is higher. I'm just saying it's 8 to 10 yards further. If you can kick it 60, you can kick it 67 or 8 here.
Across the middle.
And they know that. That's why timeout, field goal attempt right here.
All right. This is going to be in the neighborhood of 63.
So you know there's, in golf, Jim, there's a percentage when you go play, right? In Lake Tahoe or somewhere. Yeah. Well, it's the same here with the ball. It's a kick. It's a golf ball. Altitude, it's here you are right here.
Well, Oakland's home stadium is actually below sea level. We always talk about this in Denver, but there you go, another 2,000 feet. And they've got Gostkowski coming out.
And where does this put us? Where are we at, 62-ish?
Yeah, it could be around 62, 63. He probably wishes Gronk would have maybe gotten down maybe a couple yards earlier. Let's go for history if we're going to go for it.
I mean, if you're going to
why
do
not?
It, right? Well, you see him, he checked down on purpose. That's because you know before the game. Before you walk out there at the 2-minute, the quarterback knows the exact yardage.
Timeout Raiders. Timeout Raiders. Yeah, we were watching them in warm-ups.
Timeout Oakland.
Both Gostkowski and Tavecchio. And from 58 yards, I mean, they were driving them through and hitting the net halfway up.
Halfway up, which had to be 10 yards up at least. You know, and the percentages we talked about, everyone in golf, they go like, hey, it's 5%, right? It's 7% in this altitude. And so you're like, all right, well, if that's the percentage. Jay Feely, our great kicker, who's not with us here, texted me during the game, 8 to 10 yards of altitude. There's a percentage. He went on. It was a super long text.
You were in Lake Tahoe playing. You should have all these numbers down.
Yeah, I'm just not a good enough golfer to make it work. But
we know better than that. So 58's the long of a career for Gostkowski. He could establish a new mark.
Does he make this, Jim?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a question of distance. He's so reliable. 22 of 25 on the year. I'll say yes. Gostkowski from 62 yards. And again, well past and into the net with plenty to spare. And they produce points for the 7th consecutive game in the last 2 minutes.
Every week we talk about it, and this one the Raiders put it right, they fumbled. That ball had to have gone in from 62 by at least another 7 yards.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, someone has a shot at 70.
17-0 Patriots at the intermission. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your... A near flawless first half by the Patriots, leading it 17-0 over the Raiders, and New England will be receiving the third quarter kick. Let's take a look at the gain of the first half. It was Brady's second touchdown pass of the game. First one went to Dion Lewis. This one went to Danny Amendola. Only 40 completions for Brady in that first half. And again, having his way with that Raiders secondary.
Yeah, he is. And we talked about it before the game. We knew he was going to be able to have his way. They play a lot of zone coverage. Tom Brady moves zone coverage with his eyes. Move, 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 move. Throw it right where you just were as a linebacker and stuff. So he was going to be fine moving it against them. The key was whether Oakland could sustain their drives and score points to put pressure and really just keep it close to have a chance at the end. Because they haven't done that so far in the first half.
Really a 10-point swing there perhaps at the end of the first half when Roberts coughed up the football and Brady was able to lead them down. As you see the numbers for the two quarterbacks, lead them into field goal range from 62 yards where then Gostkowski set a new career long with plenty of room to go. Here it is. Look where that hit in the net.
that was good from 70, I'm telling you. Nick Faldo, your partner on CBS, said it's 15% at that altitude. Those golfers, they know every stat in the book when it comes to that.
A Faldo factoid coming into play in a football game.
There it is.
How about that?
I tell you.
So now, again, New England deferred, so we'll get the football to start quarter number 3. Dion Lewis had that 103-yard kick return for a touchdown last Sunday against Denver. Not going to have a chance this time. And let's get the halftime report from Tracy.
Jim, both teams took their 3-minute walk up the ramps, up the stairs to their locker room. Several players stopping on the way, hands on their hips. I asked Jack Del Rio if the altitude had any effect in the first half, and he said absolutely not, but those costly mistakes certainly did. As for his defense, he said, we need to make Tom Brady more uncomfortable, and it starts with the pass rush.
The problem with that, though, Jim, is that they're chipping all the DNs. Like, they actually, right now have to play better in the back end because they're blocking with 6-7 guys on every play.
So Brady throws for over 200 in that first half. He's going to come out with a completion to open the third quarter, and Lewis able to dance around and pick up another 5.
Boy, what you're going to see behind, watch Tom Brady. You're going to get pressure up the middle, and he feels it right away. They don't protect Mack here, and he knows it's pressure, but he gets the ball out of his hand instantly. That's great quarterback play. The one time you get pressure, it's out.
And there's a completion for a first down to Amendola with his first half performance. 5 catches first half, 6 now for the game for 51 and a touchdown.
This Patriot offense, Jim, they have 5 players with 30 receptions, 7 players with over 300 scrimmage yards. They throw the ball to everybody. You tell me who you're going to stop on each play.
And it could be a different running back, by the way, every week, too, so you never know. And here they're going to go long again. Open is Cooks! Cooks! No one near him! Touchdown, New England! Longest pass play of the season for Brady and the Patriots. 64 yards to Brandon Cooks.
This is a bust. You got the rookie right here. One of his first games playing, and he's got no help over the top. See how there's no safety? You got to run deep with him. Why are you down here? There's nobody helping you out there. And Melifonwu has got to learn that. He's young, but, you can't play in the NFL, and he knows it. If you're going to go out there and play corner, you're a single high safety. It's just... That's just unforgivable right there. That's a huge mistake.
Raider fans will remember last year they opened at New Orleans. Cooks was with the Saints, and he scored on a 99-yard bomb against the Raiders last year. Perfecto, 64 yards to Cooks. The Patriots strike quickly in the third. Mexico City playing host to the NFL for the second straight year. In this metropolitan area, it is massive. Over 21 million in population in the metropolitan area. Of course, still recovering in many parts from that 7.1 earthquake back on September the 19th, with the epicenter about 75 miles south of the city. And some of the NFL teams like the Raiders and the Patriots, Steelers and Cowboys donating a lot of money to the earthquake fund here, and a lot of the heroes and first responders were honored here at halftime. But Tom Brady putting on a show again. He's just got 4 incompletions to go with 3 touchdown passes. And now he's got, what, 3 touchdown passes in all 3 career games outside the U.S. I saw the other 2. Those were at Wembley Stadium, and those were both blowout wins over the Rams and over the Bucks.
You're right, and that stat will never be broken. Unless they continue to play a lot of games outside the country.
Well, they did announce, the league announced it's extended an agreement here to come back to Mexico through 2021, at least once a year. Pass complete. And that is Cooper with the catch.
They need to get going now.
Robert Kraft, Jonathan Kraft. They were excited about being able to come here. Of course, their team trained this week at the Air Force Academy after playing at Denver last Sunday night in altitude.
They should be excited about coming here. And there's Mark Davis on pins and needles of whether they can come back. I tell you, that stuff, that game right there, I know he's not happy with the way they just started this game. And mistakes. That's the difference. Can't stop them.
Go to Lynch. And Branch falls on him at the 43, gain of 5. They actually had the groundbreaking ceremony in Las Vegas this week for their new stadium. And there were 4 NFL owners in addition to Mark Davis on hand for that ceremony. And Robert Kraft was one of them. Stan Kroenke was there. Dean Spanos, Commissioner Goodell.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting having them go to Vegas. That's they're excited about it. I want to see that fan base. It'll be interesting to see how quick it takes.
2nd and 5. Hopping ahead to get away from the pressure. That's a pretty nifty move. And Lynch able to take it an additional 5 or 6 yards for a first down. Good improvising by Carr for a gain of 11.
Yeah, it's a great job. He steps up in the pocket. You're going to see right here at the end. He hops over, almost into it a little bit. And Marshawn with a good catch. Getting a first down. They just got to go down and score a touchdown. Funny things happen. It's a lot harder to play quarterback when you have a lead. It's a lot easier to play from behind because you have nothing to lose now. The other guy always has to throw it a little bit more safe, a little bit out in front of you. You can come back in these situations. There's plenty of time left. They just need points on this drive.
But how do you stop points on the other side?
Well, you're exactly right.
Oh, yeah, that tackle. Clothesline tackle.
Jean-Francois.
Yeah, they just signed. This is the 2nd game as a member of the Patriots.
Little clothesline, little 30 for 30. He had a little, what's the
longest yard? The longest yard?
The Nature Boy this week? Yeah, the longest yard.
Yeah.
I tell you, the way to come back, though, and Tom's a little different because he plays great, but most quarterbacks I found, I never got worried as I got later into my career trailing in the 4th because the other guy played it so safe that he would never really throw that 3rd and 7 ball in there. He'd throw it a little away to make sure there was never a pick, never a tip ball, so you knew they would very seldom score touchdowns.
And that hit on the back of the helmet of Landon Roberts, trying to hook up with Richard, and Roberts out of the University of Houston making a pass defense play here unwittingly.
Well, this is fantastic defense. That's a wheel route, and Roberts stays with him. And, right now, that's what it looks to the difference. A couple guys on Oakland are giving up some plays and doing some things that are, as a coaching staff, will drive you nuts. And then here's New England doing some subtle things against the tough stuff, the wheel routes. They're staying right with them and not getting beat on it and keeping their eyes in the right places. That's discipline.
Got a 3rd down now. 3rd and 10. Patriots trying to rush 5. Carr steps up from the heat. Lofts it. Over the head of Roberts. I don't know. I thought maybe they might even consider going for it, but they're going to bring King out to punt. It's awfully early. But, that drive at the end of the first half where the Patriots started from their own 7-yard line. That was the 7th time this year they've had a drive start inside their own 10. And all 7 times they've produced points from inside their own 10, even in the most impossible situations like 33 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they should get this punt and turn and run back inside the 10-yard line because it's automatic touchdown.
100%. Touchdown or field goal.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that play? That was Johnny Holton flying in the air, but it's a touchback.
Hit him in the shoulder again.
Yeah, that's a couple times today.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Justice League, now playing. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
And the main square in central Mexico City, El Zocalo. I got a chance to visit there yesterday. You might remember the opening scene from Spectre, the last Bond movie, opened right there with a helicopter scene hovering above.
That was where it was.
That's where it was.
Picture in your pop culture.
1st and 10, and Lewis loses his shoe, recovered by the Raiders. No takeaways, but they got a shoe. Actually, Devlin.
That's pretty good. So you're going to see, watch his shoe right here just go flying. And Oakland, aggressively.
Oakland tried to pounce on it, but it's a 1st down carry by Lewis.
And you're seeing New England, no more no huddle right now. Slowing the game down, getting these big formations with the tight end and a running back, fullback. Take your time, run the ball right here. Take the play action.
Wide open. Cooks putting up monster numbers. He's got a 52-yard catch and a 64-yard touchdown reception. That's now 6 grabs for him for a total of 149.
Take a look at the secondary. You got to get out of there. Get out of there. Reggie Nelson, you don't have the speed that Cooks does, and it's just simple. Like, just leverage. And then watch right here. He's going to look in the backfield. Don't get caught looking in the backfield, Melifonwu, and you do. You got deep third. Now give him a little bit of reprieve. He's a safety. They got him at corner because they're so depleted at corner, linebacker this year. But he can't not stay deep.
Brady again is going up top. Goes underneath. And Burkhead tackled by Bowman. Now that puts Brady at 25 of 29. And this pass defense saw Cutler in the last Raider game. Again, they had the bye, but 2 weeks ago, Cutler had career-high pass percentage in a game, well over 80%, a career-best 16 straight completions. I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago, Cutler looked like Brady.
It's true. This defense, I mean, when you look at it, they have no interceptions on the year, 6 takeaways, which is last in the NFL, 3rd highest completion percentage you talked about in the history of the NFL in a season, 71.
There's Lewis.
You know, they're not...
We're just shredding this defense now as they pick up another 1st down at the 37.
They're 21st against the run. I mean, the one good thing is they're 7th in red zone defense. You're just going to watch a straight run and just no one really is being crazy physical. Watch Amendola and Brook. Get off, Sean. Get off right there. Go get it. Reggie, you got to go get in there, but he had to protect the outside cut. That's not knowing that your guy. You have a contained player, right? Reggie Nelson should hit that right there. He has another guy outside that has contained. He should go hit that. If you don't trust your other guy to do his job, you won't do yours.
Burkhead dives off the right side for a gain of 3, maybe 4. Brought down by Mack. Brady already in this game has gone over 3,000 yards on the season for the 15th time in his career.
You know, this is going to sound a little strange here because they're winning and playing so well, but they're number 1 in total offense, but they're also last in total defense, which is basically yards. And in the history of the NFL, no one's ever made the playoffs, Jim, with that stat.
It's the big 1st and last. As Brady's shovel pass at the last moment, and Burkhead is able to make the catch. It's a little dangerous throw, but it goes as a completion. It was Hester who was closing in on Brady.
Yep, you're going to see left guard get beat right here. And this is another. Hester's put 3 or 4 times. He's actually played a really good game today. D lineman 90 right there for Oakland, and Brady gets it out. Ooh, and there's
that's Waddle who was rolled up.
That's their backup right tackle.
Yes, he's in for Marcus Cannon. So about 25 miles away, the pyramids of the sun and the moon were constructed around 100 BC, with the pyramids of the sun, the pyramid of the sun, being the third largest pyramid in the world. And a few mysterious ways to attend the game. 3rd and 6. Eddie's pass in the direction of Amendola. They brought in, by the way, Cameron Fleming with Adrian Waddle injured on the previous play. And now Gostkowski gets to come out and try a chip shot from 50.
Chip shot.
Here, yes. Right?
I don't know. This
Maybe 51, I'm actually going to guess.
There's a touch of wind,
Okay.
possibly half a mile an hour.
You're not feeling it now. I went out there on the limb on the 62 and called it.
I'll say push right. No, pull left.
About that center.
I was coming with that.
That was next. Another 3. 51 and 62-yard kicks by Gostkowski.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. And by AT&T.
The stadium that opened back in 1966, 2 years in advance of the Olympic Games. Mexico City hosted. We're celebrating the 50-year anniversary of that all next year. Gostkowski. Like they often do, where they try to go with the short kick and pin you inside the 20. Just go ahead and hit it deep, force the touchback. And we've mentioned this before. Our hearts go out to everyone in Mexico affected by September's devastating earthquakes. Mexico Rises is helping those communities affected. You can go to globalgiving.org/Mexico Rises to find out how you can help. The Carr and company with 180 yards of offense in this game versus 350 for the Patriots. Backpedaling and firing out of reach for Cook.
Ball just barely out in front, but Carr does a good job actually giving it a chance. He slides in the pocket. You're going to see Cook go out, back in, gets pulled by Flowers, and runs across the field, and the ball's just too far out in front. But that's actually good coaching. Even though Flowers theoretically can't rip a guy's shoulder pad, but at the line of scrimmage they get away with a lot because they don't know if you're run blocking or pass blocking every time. That was a play action.
So Derek, coming off of 3 straight 300-yard passing performances, has been held to 88 yards in the air today. Lynch trying to get outside, and he does. He's able to get around David Harris, pick up a short gain, give him 1.
You know, we were talking about just the atmosphere and everything and how special this game is. I mean, this city just was amped up. I mean, the electricity was here really through the whole weekend, and especially before the game today. And I think in the future, you see Carr struggling a little bit there lately, and I think in the future there's a chance we could see down the road a team in Mexico City so close. The fans are passionate and they know football.
Yeah, they understand the game. 3rd and 9. And Roberts able this time to spin around and pick up a 1st down. You can see it though in the offing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes when you think about other places, this is the nearest big city. I mean, how many people? It's crazy. I mean, what do we have, 20 million people?
Over 20 million in the whole metropolitan area.
Yeah, and they don't have to just
one of the largest cities in the world.
Yeah, and they don't just have to play the games here. I mean, remember what Green Bay did, right? If you didn't know if they could always have 8 games.
County Stadium, Milwaukee?
Yeah, they go County Stadium over to Milwaukee. You could go from here to Monterey. Yeah. You could come back here. There's ways to get that done. And I know they would love it, and they would support it. You know that. They would 100% support it. This is a great fan base here.
Olawale with the reception for 4 yards. Again, they did announce just before kickoff that the league in its international series has extended the contract to be able to have a game in Mexico. 3 regular season games to be played from 19 through 21. That because there was a contract to have a game already on the books for next year, and now they'll go from all the way at least to 21. Doesn't mean it's going to all be in Mexico City, by the way. It could be one of those games. Could be in Monterrey. Here comes a blitz. Jones coming after him.
One-on-one jump ball.
Crabtree fighting for it, and McCourty was right there with him to break it up.
Well, Crabtree's going to go up, and then it's an in and up, and then right there, it's just, I mean, that ball was in the air a long time, and you got 2 guys looking for it. He's almost moving back. Got to move toward the ball a little bit. And the Raiders just aren't coming down with those plays this year. It's a tough catch, but, it gives these guys a chance. As a receiver, you love that. You're one-on-one, 40 yards downfield. I mean, the ball in the air for 10 seconds, it feels like you can watch it the whole way.
For his longest completion today, he better hurry up or he's going to have to take the timeout. Play clock was running out. Longest completion's 26 yards in the first half to Cook.
This will be a 30-second charge timeout.
And again, for the game, only 93 yards passing. Let's go down to Tracy. What do you have?
Jim, our first sign of the altitude maybe taking a little effect here. Cornerback Stephon Gilmore into the locker room. He is questionable with dehydration. Jim?
Oh, there he goes. And it is the one thing about this stadium. It's a little problematic, or at least unusual based on what you see in stadiums across the U.S. It's just such a long walk to the locker rooms here.
I like it, though. And did you see
no,
when these guys came out?
The entrance
it's like your Hulk Hogan. It's WrestleMania 6, and Ric Flair's walking out, and they get this crazy walk.
3-minute walk.
They walk out right there all the way, and it's like you got to go a little slow, and you build up this momentum, and the crowd sees it, and they start cheering louder. When Brady came out, or Belichick,
it was huge.
I mean, you thought we were at the heavyweight title
fight. It was so good. It was definitely WWE or the Gladiators, whatever. 3rd and 6. And Cooper was open in the flat.
A bit outside.
What a frustrating day this has to be coming off a bye. You think maybe we've straightened out some things going into the bye with a win on the road at Miami, and you come out here and get beaten in every department by New England.
I was excited to see him because when you have that bye week, you study yourself. So you start to get into, hey, we're doing this well. We're going to put more of this in from different formations. And it's like, hey, we're not doing this well, so let's start going over here with this. Less man routes, more of this. 3-by-1s. Let's read half the field reads. Different things like that, and it just hasn't come to fruition yet.
There's a flag down where King punted the football. And this came on a 4th and 6.
They definitely ran into King. We'll see.
This is going to be the first penalty of the game against New England.
He's asking Belichick. No, he's not. This might.
He's asking.
He's talking to Oakland's sideline.
Running in the kicker, defense number 53. Oakland has elected to take that 5-yard penalty and repeat. 4th down.
And now they'll go for it on a 4th and 1. That's what they're going to do.
Well, I like it if you're trying to win the game. And you see King is a fantastic actor.
No kidding. I mean, Van Noy's turned around on this.
Oh, surprised you didn't get hurt with that.
Van Noy's now looking around and saying, I wonder who ran into him.
Well,
it wasn't me.
You can't run into him, so it's probably a good call, but at the same time, I don't think it twisted him around to a 360.
Okay, here you go.
180, 360.
4th
All
and
the snap
1.
problems.
Wally is the running back. And this doesn't work out either.
No, the second effort just hooked.
Never had a chance.
That wasn't even close. And New England had a run stunt on for this play. You're going to watch right here. Watch him come right down the line. And Riley breaks up the play. Horrible start to the second half for Oakland.
Marshawn Lynch is saying, what do I got to do to get the football in short yardage against the Patriots? The last time I saw these guys was at Super Bowl 49. I didn't get the ball. They didn't go to him there on 4th and 1. As Lewis has another nice run, rips off 11, 12 yards.
Yeah, I do think they should have given him the ball. Obviously, Olawale, they felt like was their short yardage back for some reason there. I mean, Lynch is having a good game. 11 attempts, 6, 7 yards. The team's just not playing well.
Well, you went with instead the fullback with his first carry of the game, Olawale, who actually on the season had only carried it 5 previous times. So here's Lynch, like I said, putting up good numbers. They went Olawale instead. They got stopped, and now the Patriots operating on the Raiders side of the field. Lewis, no gain.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face defense. Number 96. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
That one on Autry on the left
You're going to
side.
see right there, see Autry just give him a little chokehold, which I think that's not what they taught him. And run, inside run this week.
Adrian Waddle, who was shaken up earlier in this quarter, Tony, he's back in on that offensive line, right tackle.
It's important. You see lining up over here, Gronkowski.
Lewis and a loss of 1. You know, we haven't mentioned Ted Karras enough here. We mentioned him in the lineups at the beginning, but he had to step in here as David Andrews took ill late in the week, was inactive for this game, and Karras is a trained guard out of Illinois in his second year. And, you know, we went back with the Patriots about, well, what's his history playing center? And there really isn't any.
In college, he was a guard. In the NFL, he's a guard. And today, he's a center.
Yeah.
And, you know, you want him to play both, right? He's never really started in an NFL game.
I mean, he's had all the clean shotgun snaps, no issues, the running the football, running up the middle effectively. 2nd and 11. That's Bennett. Tracy?
Jim, Stephon Gilmore in the locker room with dehydration. Now Danny Amendola in the locker room with dehydration as well. I saw him cramping up during that punt return. His return is questionable.
It's all about staying hydrated. This was Tom Brady's big talk to us this week. Electrolytes, drink water, keep drinking.
He said, I wrote this down. There's electrolytes in my pajamas really help.
He wasn't kidding.
No, he was not.
He markets that.
He wears, what is the pajama thing?
I couldn't tell you.
I know you got it.
I had no knowledge of that. 3rd and 5. Throws it in the area of James White. And Gostkowski gets to come out and try another field goal. You've been staying hydrated this week.
I have been, with a couple of Coronas.
Yes,
Got another field goal attempt.
You couldn't help yourself, could you?
Hey, I swear this is that stadium. I saw it all over the place here.
Yeah. Here's a 40-yard try. Gostkowski. Tack on 3 more. Put the total at 30. They've scored on 6 of their 7 drives, New England, and we'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Pepsi. Now, what do you do? If you're standing on the sideline, you're talking to your offensive coordinator, you haven't produced anything.
Well, watch.
What are you saying?
You don't look at him. See that right there? You don't ever actually make eye contact because you're upset. Because you're wanting certain things, he wants certain things, and you're both going to stand there and saying, I want you to do this. Well, I want you to do this.
Well, he's looking at him now.
Yeah, he says, hey, how come no one's catching the ball?
Yeah.
They're trying. They're getting the jugs machine. They're trying to catch a bunch. Just
Todd doesn't have an answer for that. That's asking the wrong guy.
everyone's frustrated. You're down 30-0. No one feels good. And here's the Raiders miscue. Watch these drops. Just a little bit on the outside, Seth. It's like, okay, it happened one time. Off the shoulder pack. Could have changed the game early in the game. Yeah. That was a huge play in the game. Sideline. Oh, just off the hands.
But the big one.
And then the fumble that was 14-0.
Could have been maybe 14-7. They would have been down at the 3-yard line.
3 timeouts. Brady cannot get the ball and score at all again on the rest of that drive. That would have been 14-7 coming out. And there they are. Very much before you know it, game gets past you.
Pass over to Roberts. And he's got a gain of about 5. So I don't want to say the word devastating, and people are trying to sell me on how this was a must-win situation for the Raiders. But even with the loss, the way the things are going in the AFC, they're going to be one game out of the playoff with the 6th spot right now.
Yeah, they just need to continue to just improve. That's all this football. Like, the biggest thing is this, and New England knows this. That's why everybody writes them off, right? That first game when they lost to Kansas City, it's different, and their defenses would last in the league, and blah, blah, blah. And all that New England does is say, okay, we're just going to get better. And what they do is they're like, we're not very good here. Okay, we're not going to stop teams from going 3-and-out. So let's get great and start practicing more of our practice schedule in situational football, more red zone plays, more third down plays. Let's get off the field. Let's never turn the ball over on offense.
Big pass this time. Crabtree loses his helmet, picks up the first down. This is something, though, New England's done many times in the past. They figure out who they are in the month of September. They had a second loss early in the season to Carolina and almost lost to Houston in a wild game. Look at this. But they do find a way as the season marches on to evolve and find out who they are.
You're exactly right. They evolve. It's like, do you remember we talked, Coach Belichick, about Tom Landry, and we'll discuss that in a second here, but one of the things was just about improving your personnel throughout the year. Everyone thinks it's in the offseason. They do it during the year. It's about this young guy getting better and learning the system. Where are your eyes looking? Don't get caught looking at the wrong thing. Do your job. Put your hands here in the run game. Set the edge. Force the ball carrier back into somebody else. All the little things, that's how you get better at defense.
Seconds to go in the third. That last catch by Walford. Clive Walford's 3rd catch of the season. They're not going to get another playoff. 13 points in the quarter added to the Patriots total. 30-0. Beautiful sunset here in Mexico City. It's the first time since week 1 of 2015 that Oakland has been shut out through 3 quarters. Went on a loss to Cincinnati on the road 33-13 that day. But 2nd and 6 near midfield to start the 4th to Cooper. And broken up by Butler. Looked like a catchable ball, but
it's another good throw by Carge on the sideline. It just same story.
New England's on its way to matching Pittsburgh at 8-2. Don't forget, those two are going to meet in the Steel City on December the 17th. We're going to be there for that one. Jacksonville wins in Cleveland today to go 7-3. Kansas City, with its loss, still leads the division at 6-4.
Watch out for Baltimore coming on a little bit. There's 3 times I swear, almost shut people out. Did they shut out?
They did. That's 3rd shutout of the season. Carr's pass deflected. That's deflected by Trey Flowers. How about that? Baltimore's 5-5 on the year, and 3 of their 5 wins are shutout victories against Cincinnati, Miami, and Green Bay.
I'm telling you, like, that defense is pretty good, and they can. You don't want to play them ever, right? Like, they're the kind of team that's like, they're so good on defense sometimes that it's just you don't want to play them in January. They got to get there, though. Their offense struggling, trying to find ways. Danny Woodhead probably helped them today. I haven't seen the game, but we'll see. 4th and 6 now. Here we go. If they want any chance in this game, I know you think they got a shot to come back and win.
Were you speaking of me? 4th and 6. Let's see what
they need to finish this game well. They got to do something. They got to do something to get them going.
Crabtree makes a nice move, pick up the first. He saw Bonamosi out there. So one guy had to make the move on to pick up the first. And now a little after the tackle scuffle there with Butler.
One step in, kind of a little pickish, but not really, and too much space given up by Bonamosi. Teams have success throwing on New England. I mean, the people that you throw to and go against New England are the wide receivers. I mean, they allow them to play one-on-one a lot. They've given up 121 receptions of wideout, which is the 2nd most in the NFL. It's because the coverages they play. A lot of man coverage, a lot of one-on-one.
Roberts, how many times have he been spun around today? Of course, the one time was the costliest play of the game. A flag is down.
Holding. Defense number 23. That 5-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
And they'll take the penalty on Chung, mark the football at the 30. And we remind you, Friday at 2:30 Eastern, Missouri battles Arkansas. And then Saturday, 3:30. It's all on the line. The Iron Bowl. #1 Alabama battles 6th-ranked Auburn. And the winner is headed to the SEC championship game. It's a great Thanksgiving weekend of football on CBS.
I was surprised Auburn last week took down Georgia pretty handily.
Big time.
That was interesting.
Handled them.
I didn't see that one coming.
Big fashion. It was on CBS's air. Here's a first down throw. Carr to Holton. It's pushed at the last minute, but wasn't a catchable ball. And that was Jones.
That's a punch.
You can't do that.
He punched him.
Right in front of an official, no less. Yeah, he turned around and took a swing at Jonathan Jones. Jones, yeah, that's a good move by that official to come step in front of him.
It's kind of like he reached out to push his face mask with like a little hit at the end. You know how you're just going to push him away from him, but it looks almost punch-ish. We'll see what the officials come up with here, but whether they determine it. It's a hitch and go.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 16. 15-yard penalty, still first down. That penalty is the first in the category. If number 16 gets a penalty similar, he will be ejected from the game.
Well, the biggest crowd they ever had at this stadium. Here it is.
Correction.
Didn't like the fact that Jones
that happened after the play. It is now second down.
He pushed him in the end zone when the ball was going over his head, and Jones pushes to protect the throw at the end. Well, Holton doesn't like it because he's like, hey, you're pushing me into a wall.
Yeah.
And so I can understand him being upset with that, but you got to keep your nerves at.
Azteca's biggest crowd it ever had for any event. 132,000 for a Julio Cesar Chavez fight.
Wow. He's a legend down here, boxer.
That wasn't exactly Cesar Chavez-like right there, but
ridiculous.
Raiders trying to show a little fight of some sort. They got flagged for it as they should. And there's Washington. Always wonder about a team. You're getting shut out, and this could be a situation we'll see. Do you feel better about yourself? You just go ahead and kick a field goal. We're not there yet.
Absolutely.
It's 3rd and 10.
Kick the field goal.
3rd and 18. But would you just go ahead and say, hey, we feel better about it. We're going to kick the field goal.
You don't want to get shut out. No coach, no player. The reality is, if you have a chance to win the game, you go for it all the way to the end. But if it's 2 minutes to go, it's 4th and it's 18, just kick the field goal.
Carr steps up. Patterson, did he scoop it off the ground?
I don't know, but hurry up and run up and snap the ball.
They rule incomplete. They rule incomplete on the field.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete
Back
pass.
judge says no.
4th down.
That's complete from that angle. Although he's still... We need to see a different view.
We got a
That
challenge
might be
flag
our
out.
only view, though, because it's the only angle that is that part of the field.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
I mean, based on that one, he caught it.
Certainly looked good from here, but the official who said it was incomplete was the back judge, Keith Ferguson, who would have had a great view of it.
So now that looked like it hit the ground, right? But we saw the other view that didn't hit the ground. That's a catch. So watch right here. The other view looked like it touches first. That does not come off the ground.
His hands are under it.
That's a catch. This should be reversed. Because right here, that first little bounce is actually his hand. You see that right there? That bounce up from the bottom, when that ball comes in, it's going to bounce up.
Off his hand.
And it bounced off his hand.
The only thing that surprised me is that when they ruled it incomplete is that Cordero didn't put up a bigger fuss about it.
Well, when you're calm, they want you to be calm through the good and the bad.
Is that what it is?
I'm always like, well, what happens if it's just wrong? Can I not be calm? Because usually I get a call if I'm a little more animated.
So again, they call it incomplete on the field. They have to have evidence to overturn what the call was.
And he's talking to Al. Okay, Al, we'll come over to my house at 6. We'll have dinner. Okay, buddy.
So he's a long way from Al's house.
Okay. Yep. You can make it. Yep. You bring the dessert.
So 27 yards if it's overturned. If they go with a catch here.
After review,
22.
the ruling has been changed to a catch. We're going to place the ball at the 16-yard line. It will be Raiders ball, 1st and 10.
Good job by Patterson, and the Raiders now set up at the 16. Again, 22 yards to Patterson on that one. Since Cooper wide to the right, Cooper again, meager numbers, 2 for 19.
Now the quarterback right here, what does this safety do? Does he go help outside, or does he come inside and help? I'd look at him, and right there you'll throw either outside of the field to Patterson or inside the field. Yep.
Across the middle they go down to the 9 with Crabtree. Gilmore, who's back after suffering from dehydration.
All that space, that safety's up and out of there.
Gilmore makes that tackle.
Now this is interesting. This is where New England decides to take away certain guys in the red zone. This is why they keep people from scoring. Your big targets aren't going to catch the ball on here. It's going to be somebody else.
He's looking for Crabtree. He throws it over his head. Gilmore had him held up, defended him well.
So this is right here. Crabtree actually leads them in touchdown. He has 6 touchdowns this year. So the Patriots know that. So he's going to run a slant and go. But look at up top. This safety and this corner are going to play a tandem. That's double coverage. They're kind of hiding it. But guess what? Gilmore has help inside, so he doesn't have to buy the slant. So he stays deep on the slant and go. Don't go, Gilmore. Don't go. Don't go. Stay back. He does a good job playing the defense the right way. No touchdown. Good coaching. Good job by the players to take the coaching.
They pick up the first at the 6. It's 3rd down and 3. Got his man. Cooper reaches for the pylon. Touchdown, Raiders.
Is it in? Oh, yes, that's a touchdown.
That's a nice play. Look at the way he planted his feet to get the leverage to be able to do that. And then no doubt about it, they're going to go for 2, by the way.
So, Jim, we just talked about the last play, right? So you had inside help with the safety. Now watch right here. You have inside help. The safety's right here. Do not let him get beat to the outside. Watch the receiver. Cooper's going to go in and out, and Butler's going to buy the inside. And he gets beat outside. You can't do it. Just go to your help. If you have help, always lean to the side, and that's sometimes just the difference between giving up a touchdown or not. And the coach is going to be like, what are we doing? You have help inside. The safety will take a play on the slants. Here you go, going for 2. Didn't have to here, but you're down by this much, you can.
Richard is the running back. Back in the end zone, and it is caught for the 2 by Crabtree. 30-8. Finally, the Raiders do something on offense. Well, the sun's setting here in Mexico City. Azteca Stadium. What are your thoughts on this stadium? Your first chance to see it.
Oh, it's electric. Here comes an onside kick, Jim. Oh, no, that's not an onside, is it? Has to be.
To Vecchio. McCourty. I don't know who thought that was going to be his first onside kick, but he's out to the 31.
Well, why would you kick it to the 20? At least kick it to the 5.
Put it on the ground or do something. But we're going to have another game here in a few days, Tone. We're going to head your way for the Chargers and the Cowboys. The Thanksgiving tradition continues.
That's going to be a big one. The Chargers are up like
54 to 17. Blowing out the Bills, who had the quarterback change, and that did not work out for Peterman.
I tell you
Last
what.
I saw, 5 picks thrown.
Yeah. You saw the Cowboys struggle last week against the Falcons.
They got a big one tonight.
This is going to be a big one in their season.
We'll be there on Thursday. Look forward to having all of you with us on that special holiday as Brady fires it out to about the 36 is where they'll give him forward progress to Amendola. And like Gilmore, he went in, got a little treatment for dehydration, and returns. Brady 28 of 34 for 311. And he's called timeout here. Saw the play clock down to 1. Let's get a little history of football. There is some that goes back a ways. Some impressive stuff here. Tracy, down to you.
Well, that's right, Jim. You know, it started all the way back in the 60s. Several of the colleges played against each other. American football just so popular here now. I was driving from the airport. Not only did you see soccer fields, but you saw the soccer fields with goalposts up as well. There are several players, several kids that play here every single week in a flag football league, more than 2.5 million. There's also a domestic league made up of 6 teams, and those flag football leagues are sponsored by the NFL. Also, several former players, several current players. I spoke with former Bengal offensive lineman Anthony Munoz. His foundation comes here. They hold camps all week. He's getting 300 to 400 kids for every camp, Jim.
That's awesome. Second down and 4. Play action, and Brady wide open with a flag out. That's Allen.
I think that's on Oakland. I think they hit Cooks, or it was one of the receivers running down the field. They just held him, I feel like.
There is no penalty for holding. The result of the play, first down.
Tracy was talking about the history of football here. Back in 1994, the Cowboys came here for a preseason game against the Houston Oilers. Again, this was 94, and 112,000 attended that game.
Wow. I'm telling you, they love football so much here. They're passionate. They know the game. Like, they want football here. They love it.
First and 10, Lewis. To the 42. And speaking of guys passionate about football, let's go back to the studio with an update.
What a weapon that you have with A.J. Green.
Yep, find it to A.J. Green. Andy Dalton, 3 touchdowns today. This is 18 yards to A.J. Green. Makes the score. Cincinnati 20, Denver 10.
Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson.
All right, JB, Phil, thank you. Of course, the Raiders' next opponent will be Denver in Oakland next week. Brady. He was hit low on the throw.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag. Can't hit him down there. Is he okay?
Oof. And that was Mack who delivered the blow.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 52. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the catch. Automatic, first down.
I actually don't agree with that. The play is lunging into his feet. He actually makes an attempt to wrap him around. And we talked about this a little bit. That's really a call that's like if you dive at his feet or try and like the knee and leg area, you know, right there, it's like, now I don't even know if Brady should be in the game after, well, maybe this drive and then he's done. But I really feel like that one, they let you go if you try and hold up a little bit and not dive into his knees and try and wrap him and twist him, they're okay with that.
So Brian Hoyer, his backup, who saw action in their game last week. Of course, the whole odyssey for Hoyer after Garoppolo goes to San Francisco, traded for a second-round pick. 49ers then waived Hoyer, who had been their starter for most of the season, and right behind that, of course, he comes back here to New England, where he started his NFL career as an unsigned, undrafted free agent out of Michigan State. They love him here. Brady loves having him back on the team, too.
There's so many reasons a guy like Brady loves having him.
We met with Tom this week. He was effusive about having Hoyer back in a Patriot uniform and just a hang guy to be at practice with and just to discuss games and strategy. There's a close bond.
Yeah, there is, and you need that. Like when you get to a certain age, everyone in the locker room, I mean, you're not hanging out like when you were young and you had your guys who came in with you. They lasted 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, by the end, it was me and Witten as far as like the guy that I was with for a lot of those years. You go through a lot of the battles with. Now you have family, you got kids. The really thing you want is, hey, do you want to come over and hang out with my kids and watch a football game? And it's like, Hoyer will do that. So to have that guy You know, that's really important at that age. It allows you to feel like, hey, this is still not just always competition.
3rd and 3, down to the 3. Ball comes out incomplete. Trying to hit Cooks on the slant. Smith helped break it up. And Gostkowski getting a lot of work in this second half, ever since really the into the first half.
With a made field goal here, I'm you know, Brady's done for me. He wouldn't be coming back in the game. Up 25. It's a 4-score, 4-possession game.
So Gostkowski good from 62, 51, and 40. They keep getting shorter by about 11 yards. And this one from 29. So the Patriots have to love what they're seeing. 33-8. They up the lead here with 8:15 to go.
Oh, happy days.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Acura. Precision crafted performance.
Some shots of our magnificent crew. They've enjoyed the week here in Mexico. We all have. The hospitality has just been absolutely fantastic. I hope we get a chance to come back and do another game here soon.
I hope so too. This is one of my favorite places to visit and be around. The people are fantastic here, I tell you.
No question. There's a few fans here of Antonio Romero Romo.
Tell you what, you know, my grandpa was born in Mexico.
Yep.
And
near Monterrey, right?
Yeah, near there. And I tell you what, I grew up, you know, from Texas. They live down there. I've been down a million times, and just the support that I've received from the Hispanic community has been off the charts. And just coming here this week, I felt pretty special. You know, it felt just this unique experience that you don't get all the time. So I want to say thank you to the community and everyone around here. It's been really a joy.
There's a first down. Pass play, or is it? Yeah, on the run. The attendance today, it was a sellout, but really within minutes when the game was announced. 77 plus.
It's pretty impressive. There's Mexico, a world of its own.
They had this whole NFL fan experience too down at the Zocalo yesterday and throughout the last couple of days. Fantastic scene there too.
How do you pronounce that?
Zocalo?
Is that with the S or is it?
It's spelled with a C, but we say it with an S.
Okay, I thought it was spelled with a C.
Yeah. You're going to get me in that. As Patterson picks up the first. I should be asking you.
Well, Jim, you know,
El Zocalo. This is it right here. I actually went down to see it.
Oh, man, I tell you.
You know, I could get you to leave the hotel.
I've seen every part of this city. It's fantastic. Get it over Sean Lee's head. There you go. Good shot. There it is. Look at all the fans here. I mean, honestly, when you're here, it feels a little bit like a Super Bowl. And the build-up before. I mean, there's so much stuff to do. It's a spectacle, though.
First down. And that'll pick up 9. If you're a fan and you come down next year, as we've said, they're committed to coming down here now through all the way to 2021, and I'm sure it'll go beyond that. But if you do come down, I would encourage everyone, come early, because the 2 hours before kickoff, the closest I've ever seen is Lambeau Field. They come early to watch warm-ups there. But they reacted to everything, and the entrance onto the field, as you said, walking down the steps, that gladiatorial kind of arrival. I mean, it was truly memorable. 2nd and 1. Patterson again. Get here early.
You're right. It was electric in here before the game, and it was electric for about 2.5 scores of the game.
Not so much now.
Now they don't have much to cheer about if you're an Oakland fan. And most of these people in here today were Oakland fans.
Carr in trouble. In trouble. Taken down. lucky to hold on to the football.
Yeah, this will be the last drive for him, I would assume, as well. And right here, 1 hitch, 2 hitch, 3 hitch, 4, 5. You got it. The ball's got to come out there, even if it just sails over someone's head. You got to, at this point in the game, he's got to be smart too and protect himself. Throw it. Next guy, over their head. Run, move.
Van Noy was the first to get to him as that pocket collapsed. And now the Raiders
They'll take a timeout right here.
no hurry, so they're going to take it right here.
And they're letting the clock run down because they're the same way. They're actually being smart with the sense that you can't win the game.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Some of the NFL headlines from the early action from the 1 o'clock Eastern time window. The Vikings beat the Rams. The Rams scored a touchdown early, and then the Vikings blanked them the rest of the way.
Watch this happy face right there. Look at that. You're squeezing me.
They came back from 15 down with 4 minutes to go and won in overtime. The Saints did. And the Giants pick up their second win as they defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. Thielen with that big game, 6 catches. He broke one when he spun around a defender. Took it the distance.
You're right. And these are the two teams right here. Minnesota and Jacksonville, a little under the radar because the quarterbacks, right, that they both have, that you don't really, and no one really believes you can really go win it all, right? Nobody wants to see those two teams in January. Those defenses can carry you through a lot farther than people know.
We're talking about the great weekend of football coming up on the college side. Plus, we have the Chargers and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. And then next Sunday, we're going to go to the Coliseum. And we're going to see the Saints take on the Rams. A pair of division leaders. That's going to be a good one. Olawale taking the pile, taking a whole bunch of players with him. Down to the New England 40.
That's what they wanted on the 4th and 1. That's why they put them in. And there's the NFC playoff picture, Jim.
Well, look at the records here. I mean, you've got 8-1, 8-2, 8-2. And the Rams drop back to 7-3. You got a wild card. I mean, it's totally different records versus what the AFC is presenting right now for playoff teams.
And right there, you got two teams everyone expected, which were Dallas and the Atlanta Falcons, who are both sitting there that could go on a run with the talent that they have. But right now, I haven't quite got in position to.
Olawale able with that last spin move to take Marcus Flowers with him and pick up the first. By the way, all 4 division leaders in the NFC that you just saw on that list, the Philadelphias and the Saints and Minnesota and the Rams, all 4 division leaders on the NFC side were not in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's.
How about that?
You know, the NFL is really crazy. It's so. I mean, look at Oakland, right? Very similar team to last year. It's not like they lost a whole bunch of guys, or so line's pretty much back.
Car down the field, got an open man. But Cooper's got to be out of bounds. He is. Yeah, what is the difference?
There's so much subtlety, okay? So when we look back at this, now you just said how many? 4 teams?
Yeah, all 4 division leaders right now, those 4 you see, were not in the playoffs in any capacity, wild card, division winner, otherwise.
And now they're exceptional. And so the crazy thing, this is going to change. So you see this right here. A lot of these things are going to change here as this goes forward because a lot of these teams play each other. Going forward, you're going to see a lot of them kind of go back and forth against each other. And I think that it's going to adjust. Philadelphia's for real, Minnesota's for real, and New Orleans can run the football. They can run the football, and when you can run the football and your quarterback is Drew Brees, they're going to have a chance against anybody.
And another drop. That was Roberts. And that win today by the Saints, though. You're down at home. All day long, the Redskins were beating them and had the edge. It was 31-16. And they got a touchdown, give them a little chance. And then they had this drive just before the end of regulation. And they needed the 2. They got them both. Yeah, and then they won it in overtime with a Lutz field goal.
The biggest thing, put a little limp in there for Carr, a little ginger. Just telling him to give him a go route. Just go outside of him and run a go. There he goes outside of him and run a half version of a go.
How about another drop? My goodness, Washington this time.
Yeah, this is just too many drops. I mean, watch this right here. This just a little screen pass, and it's like, here, I'm going to hit you in the spot that's not good, which is the hands. And watch Derek. Come on. And what he wants them to do is not cut out. It's an inside screen. He's supposed to turn and pivot and go right down the field, not go toward the sideline. So Carr is actually putting the ball where he should be turning, almost like an inbounds pass, like to a post-up player, throw it to the side of the leverage where you can just catch it.
He's going to beat the play clock, and he calls timeout.
Third and final charge timeout. Oakland.
Not exactly walking without walking that freely. There is a little bit of a limp there. Timeout. Could Belichick, would he hang in the game that long? You're talking really, you go the rest of this season, it'll be another, including postseason. You know, there's going to be, there is, he's 76 behind tying Shula. So how many seasons would it be? About six additional seasons. Something like that.
That's around 12 wins a year. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be close. That's going to be one to watch for, though. That's going to be a close one. I don't know if he's going to go.
4th and 3, and he was open.
But you know, one of the things that Belichick actually, way back in the day, they used to have, you see Derek Carr just limping off there. Tough day right there. He's done for sure. So is Belichick. He would use, like, they would come up with unique and special things all the time. They would use a lot of different stuff to move the ball defensively. If you remember shotgun, I believe Landry was one of the first guys to ever use shotgun. This is a defensive coach, right? He used to use the flex defense, and we had a talk, and there's Brian Hoyer coming in now, and we used to talk about the flex defense that Landry ran, and Belichick, and we talked for about an hour on it, and I loved it. There was so many neat stuff, and I got to ask him many questions on it. And Hoyer with a good career coming back over from San Francisco, as we talked about earlier, going to come in and just throw the ball on every down, right?
There was something about the way, as they hand it off here, there's something about the way the Cowboys, when they would break huddle and the way they would motion, they would come up out of their stance before the snap and then get back down and do a three-point stance. Talk about offensively. I mean, it was magic to watch at the time.
You're exactly right. It was magic.
All the shifting.
He was the first coach offensively to run a play to set up another play. In other words, he'd have the same formation. He'd run a counter to the right, and he would set that up for a play action right after that. And what happens defensively is you'd adjust to the counter play, right? You'd set your defense on the sideline, go that, bam, he'd hit you for 40 on the next one. Everybody copied that.
2 minutes to go. Patriots in a romp.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. And by the new Moto Z with Moto Mods.
So back for the last 2 minutes. And 2nd and 6 as Hoyer hands it off to Burkhead.
Hey, Jim, can you tell us what's going on tonight on CBS?
Good idea. 60 minutes. How about that? They're covering a story you don't want to miss. Humanitarian crisis. You'll hear that full story tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes. Wisdom of the Crowd, NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary tonight, only CBS. More standings. Patriots full control of that division. And oddly enough, their last 6 games, 5 of their last 6 games are AFC East division games. They got Buffalo twice, Miami twice, Jets once.
It's like the whole AFC's in the wild card race, isn't it?
It does. Seems like that.
Cleveland's out. Who else maybe? Maybe Indianapolis?
I'll put Cleveland out right now.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just curious as you look at the Patriots schedule. The lone non-division game they have left is that game at Pittsburgh. And again, that's a big one. That's a beauty. We look forward to that December 17th. How much do you think training, depending the week at the Air Force Academy, which I know the Patriots would want everybody in Colorado Springs at the Academy to know how much they appreciated what everybody did for them there this week. How much, though, did that help them? Or do you think the result might have been the same had they just gone back to Foxborough and trained for the week before this game?
It's a great question. Honestly, you'll never know because we unless, Oakland thought they had their secret to it as well, right? Coach didn't want to give us what they did. He thought that Coach Del Rio thought they
worked last year, they beat Houston.
Sometimes
last minute.
Hey, if you got Tom Brady.
Third and final charge timeout. New England. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Took that timeout there, New England.
Here's the Raiders' schedule. They have back-to-back games in Oakland, Denver. And that Denver game, by the way, has tightened to 20-17 in the last 2 minutes, and the Broncos with the football. Then the Giants at Kansas City. Dallas comes to Oakland. Close out with the games at Philly, at the Chargers.
These are tough stretch right here. Boom, boom, boom. You know, that Kansas City, though, could be a big one if, you know, Oakland's going to obviously move to 4-6, but they're only 2 back, and they hold the tiebreaker because they beat Kansas City last time.
And that Thursday night thriller that we had a chance to witness, maybe the game of the year so far in the regular season.
9-on-7's getting in the playoffs in the AFC, and there's an outside shot 8-8.
Could be. Hey, Carr's coming back in. I mean, we saw him walk out off the field after the last incompletion on 4th down, and he definitely
they're just nailing
limping.
Yeah, they got to nail this ball. If you're doing anything else, you're too stat centric that you want to get yards.
Yeah.
The crowd is cheering something, I'm not really sure, but they are starting.
Maybe just a sign of appreciation for the NFL coming down to visit him again. Thank you.
I think they are. I think this is the Pats fans. They're cheering the win.
You wanted a kneel down? How about shotgun formation?
What are we doing? This is just someone gets hurt, something happens here, you're just like, what are we doing?
Where are they going to run it? Olawale. Close it out at 33-8 is the final.
That looked like a Pro Bowl run. Everybody watch our own feet and legs so nobody hits us.
So the Patriots 2-game road trip through altitude at Denver and at Mexico City. They outscore the Broncos and the Raiders 74-24. 33-8 is the final here. And again tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. New episodes, Wisdom of the Crowd, NCIS Los Angeles. Madam Secretary, thanks for being with us. And thanks to all the great folks here in Mexico for the hospitality this week. We'll see you on Thanksgiving Day from Dallas. For Tony and Tracy and all the crew, Jim Nance saying so long. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.